Welcome back, everyone. Today, we're diving into a topic that might seem a little counterintuitive at first glance. We often hear about the importance of being a good person, having a kind heart, and doing good deeds. And, absolutely, those are fundamental. But what if I told you that even with the kindest heart, there's still a critical spiritual step many overlook? That step, we believe, is receiving Tien-Tao.
It's a really interesting point, John, because I think a lot of people, when they hear spiritual path or salvation, they immediately think, well, I'm a good person, I help others, I don't intentionally hurt anyone. And they feel like that should be enough, right? Like their good karma will sort everything out.
Exactly, Jane. And that's where we need to dig a little deeper into what true spiritual transcendence means. The concept of a good Yuan-zi is very pertinent here. These are individuals who naturally possess a virtuous nature, a deep inclination towards kindness, empathy, and social responsibility. They genuinely care about the well-being of others and the moral fabric of society.
I know many people like that. They're the ones always volunteering, looking out for their neighbors, championing causes. They're the backbone of any community, honestly. And you'd think if anyone deserves a peaceful, fulfilling existence, it's them.
Absolutely. But here's the thing. These good-hearted individuals, once they understand the profound significance of Tien-Tao, they should be among the most eager to embrace it. Why? Because their inherent goodness extends to a concern for universal salvation and the upholding of true morality, which, let's be honest, is in pretty short supply these days.
Tell me about it. You just have to look around. The news, social media, it feels like morality is eroding at an alarming rate. Selfishness, greed, a lack of empathy seem to be not just common, but almost celebrated in some circles. It's really disheartening for someone who genuinely cares.
It truly is. And these wicked thoughts and deeds, they don't just disappear. They accumulate, creating negative karma that manifests as suffering and destructions, both individually and collectively. Those who possess that good Yuan-zi heart, they instinctively worry about this trend. They're actively seeking solutions, ways to bring genuine salvation to others, not just temporary fixes.
So for these people, when they hear about Tien-Tao, it's not just another philosophy or belief system. It's like finding a solution to the very problems they've been agonizing over.
Precisely. The availability of Tien-Tao to all should be a cause for immense joy for them. And knowing their nature, they would naturally put every effort into understanding it, practicing it, and then, crucially, spreading it. Because their kindness isn't just for their own immediate circle, it extends to humanity.
That makes a lot of sense. If you have a truly compassionate heart, your concern isn't just for your own spiritual journey, but for everyone else's too. It's a natural extension of that goodness.
Now let's get to the most significant distinction, the core reason why Tien-Tao is so profoundly important, even for the kindest among us. And that is the promise of transcending the cycle of birth, death, and rebirth. This is huge, Jane. This is the ultimate liberation.
The cycle of samsara, as some traditions call it. It's a concept that can be a bit daunting to grasp, isn't it? The idea of endlessly being reborn, facing new challenges, new sufferings.
It is, and the incredible benefit of receiving Tien-Tao is the opportunity to break free from that cycle entirely, to return to God's kingdom. Think about what that means, being forever exempt from the sufferings that are inherent in the cycle of birth, aging, sickness, and death. And perhaps even more critically, exempt from the judgment rendered by the judge of the Underworld.
Wow. That's a pretty heavy thought. Avoiding judgment and eternal suffering, that's a massive promise. So let's talk about the kind person who doesn't receive Tien-Tao. What happens to them according to this understanding?
Well, if one has a kind heart but has not received Tien-Tao, they remain, effectively, just a good person in a sinful world. And while being good is commendable, the spiritual reward for such a person, according to this understanding, is merely to have a good life after they are reborn.
A good life after rebirth. That sounds pretty good on the surface, right? Who wouldn't want that?
It does, and it is a reward. But here's the catch, and it's a significant one. That reward, in the form of a good life, will run out someday. Karma, both good and bad, has its limits. Upon the termination of that good karma, that temporary reward, the good person still faces uncertain endings. They're still subject to the wheel of rebirth, to the fluctuations of karma. It's not a permanent solution.
So, it's like having a really nice, comfortable journey, but you know the road eventually ends, and you don't know what's beyond that. You still have that underlying uncertainty. Whereas with Tien-Tao, it's like a guaranteed express ticket to the ultimate destination.
That's a fantastic analogy, Jane. For those who receive Tien-Tao from an enlightened teacher with Tien-Ming, that divine mandate, they transcend the cycle of birth, death, and rebirth entirely. They enjoy an eternal reward, a permanent return to their true home, to God's kingdom. The latter, the eternal reward, is undeniably far superior to merely a temporary good life in the next reincarnation.
I can see why that distinction is so critical. It moves beyond just doing good for good's sake, which is noble, to doing good with a deeper, ultimate purpose in mind. It's about securing your spiritual future, not just your next life's comfort.
Exactly. And this isn't a new concept. Ancient wisdom often points to this urgency. Confucius, for instance, once said, "A fence-sitter is a thief of virtues." It's a really powerful statement, isn't it?
Oh, that's incredibly thought-provoking. What do you think he meant by that? A thief of virtues?
I think it speaks to the idea that true virtue isn't passive. It's not enough to just observe, to sit on the sidelines when there's a clear path or a clear truth, to delay or to be indecisive, especially when it comes to something as profound as one's spiritual destiny, is to essentially steal from your own potential for profound virtue. It's about neglecting the opportunity to fully embody and manifest that goodness in the most impactful way possible.
It's like having the ability to do something truly great, but choosing not to, or just waiting around. You're not necessarily doing something bad, but you're missing out on doing something eternally good.
Precisely. And he also said something even more striking. One who awaked to Tao in the morning will not have any regret even if he dies in the same night. Now that really puts things into perspective.
Wow, that's a profound statement about immediate realization and ultimate peace. It implies that the awakening to Tao is so complete, so transformative, that it instantly alleviates all fear of death and regret. That's a level of peace most people can only dream of.
It does, doesn't it? If you really ponder these two sayings, the distinction between just being a good person and receiving Tien-Tao becomes strikingly obvious. Being a good person is the foundation, it's the beautiful, fertile soil. But receiving Tien-Tao is like planting the seed of eternal life in that soil. Without that seed, no matter how good the soil, it won't yield the fruit of transcendence.
It's about fulfilling your highest potential, not just living a virtuous life within the confines of this earthly existence. It's about securing a destiny that goes beyond even the best possible earthly reward. And when you think about the state of the world, with all its suffering and uncertainty, that kind of ultimate peace and liberation becomes incredibly appealing.
Exactly. The good Yuan-zi, those with truly kind hearts, they aren't just looking for personal comfort. They're looking for true, lasting solutions for themselves and for humanity. And when they realize that Tien-Tao offers precisely that, a way to transcend suffering, to return to the source, and to help others do the same, their inherent goodness should compel them to embrace it with open arms.
I think what's so powerful about this message is that it doesn't negate the importance of being kind or doing good deeds. In fact, it elevates it. It says, yes, be kind, be virtuous, but also understand that there's an even higher calling, a more profound spiritual truth that can take your inherent goodness to an entirely new level of impact and ultimate liberation.
You've hit the nail on the head, Jane. It's not an either-or situation, it's an and. Be a kind person and seek the ultimate truth that can liberate you from the cycle of suffering. Because without that ultimate liberation, even the kindest heart is still navigating a world filled with challenges and facing an uncertain spiritual future.
It really encourages self-reflection, doesn't it? To ask yourself, am I just being good, or am I also seeking the path that offers eternal peace? For those who genuinely want to make a difference and find ultimate solace, it definitely sounds like a path worth exploring.
Absolutely. It's about moving from passive virtue to active spiritual seeking. For those with a kind heart, who truly care about the state of the world and the destiny of humanity, Tien-Tao offers not just a temporary reprieve, but an eternal solution. It's the ultimate act of self-love and universal compassion.
And that's a powerful message to leave our listeners with today. Thank you, John, for shedding so much light on such a profound and important topic. It gives us all something truly meaningful to consider.
My pleasure, Jane. And thank you everyone for joining us on this journey of spiritual exploration. We hope this conversation has inspired you to reflect on your own path and perhaps look for that deeper meaning, that ultimate liberation that Tien-Tao offers. Until next time, take care and keep seeking.
Indeed, may your hearts be kind.